Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again, and we've got a matchup against my man Kyle here. He's rocking the blue Doflamingo from OP01. You love to see it, making old dreams come true. And yeah, this is a deck, man. This is a deck that like, if it gets the gas, it can be really scary. But I did win the dice roll here, and I chose to go first. Going first for Doflamingo is really nice if you end up seeing that Perona on curve. And then being able to set up for a leader ability is just absolutely insane. But lucky for us, no Perona. And then I'm just going to get an 8K swing here because I don't actually have many plays in hand. I have a lot of late game, but he is going to just wing it with the Doflamingo swing and ends up hitting a blocker right here, which sets up his life. And I'm like, no, please. So pretty dang good for him. You know, gets everything he wants set up, and we'll see that looking at his hand, he does have a lot of his top end cards as well. I'll go 6 into the blocker just to get it off the board, and I'll play Borsalino. Go ahead and pitch another Borsalino blocker and just pass it back over. And now he tells me, just go ahead and bottom deck that card for me because he's got the 3000 worlds and a 7K swing into life. I am just going to have to take this. I don't mind getting too low on life in this matchup, but I definitely don't like getting to, you know, a pretty scary position. So I am just going to go ahead and do a 5K here. We do get a counter out, and brand new, we'll take a look. I'll end up picking up that Hound Blaze and trashing the rest. Getting a Hina into trash is always huge. And now Sabo for the remaining 5. I didn't want to be aggressive this turn. I know that I have 7-cost Borsalino as well as 9-cost Mihawk in hand at the moment. So I'm just trying to get a few cards that I'll potentially need for the end game. And it looks as though we're not drawing into a lot of counter power, which is a little scary, if I'm being completely honest. But super solid X-Drake right here does end up getting a few cards to set up for the remaining turns. And I know that he sees that 10-drop Kaido in there. I'm not sure if he wants to draw into that too soon, simply because he's already got, I believe, 1 or 2 in hand. But depending on how the game goes, might actually just want to play that out. And gets the Gecko Moria onto the board. He will swing 6, and I think I dropped the only 2K counter in my hand right there, using Tashigi to counter out of that swing. But with 9 Dawn, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got Mihawk, I've got the Borsalino, and I'm just kind of considering what card I really need to prioritize here. I know that his next turn is potentially a 9-cost Mihawk coming down. It could be a 10-cost Kaido. Either one doesn't feel great, if I'm being completely honest. Don't want to deal too much with that, but with ourselves being at 9, I am trying to get this X-Drake as well as Gecko Moria off the board. I do cycle out the Kuzan. I don't think we draw into anything that changes my play here, but I am just going to go 7, lowering the X-Drake here. Very easy 2K counter, but doesn't seem to actually has the Kaya, excuse me, but uses the 0-cost event here. So I end up Borsalino and get that X-Drake off the board. I just didn't want a 5-cost. I'll take him having a 6-cost over the 5. And now it looks as though we're going to have that Mihawk coming down. I unfortunately do have to take this 6K swing, and I get Borsalino bottom decked. A little sad, but at least we got him off of potentially dropping Kaido on us there. And I accidentally drew 2 cards. I didn't mean to, but I told him that I was like, I can bottom deck it or I could just show you it. And he was like, yeah, it's fine. So I was going to cycle anyways. So it ended up working out that I was going to draw the card. But yeah, I still, you know, being friends, we just respect one another. I was like, dude, you could just see the card. I don't really care. But I will go 5 into life here, lowering down the Mihawk by 1. I will go ahead and cycle that Hound Blaze, picking up that beautiful Man Sherry that we just showed him. And now getting a little greater eruption. Get some card draw, get my own Mihawk down on the board, gets rid of his. He throws it in trash, not really relevant. You know, not a big deal. Should have been bottom decked, but who cares? At the end of the day, the only card that he'd be able to get out of trash would be a Warlords of the Sea 4-cost or less through Gecko Moria. So we will see a 7k swing. I am just going to 2k counter out of this. I'm going to see another 7k using that leader effect to set up the top of life here. Has a really nice Gum Gum Red Rock there. It's kind of preventing him from putting down 10-cost Kaido. I do think that 10-cost Kaido was a pretty solid option here, though. Just because I would have to have quite a lot of removal to get rid of that, and he could draw into, you know, a solid amount of cards. But Mihawk does get taken off the board here, and now I've got honestly quite a little bit to work with. I got 1 life, which is a little scary. I know that I want to get rid of his entire board here. Using Houndblaze would be really nice. I have the Rebecca. I don't know if we should have a Hina in trash because of that first brand new play, if I'm not mistaken. So Rebecca into Hina on, let's say, the Gecko Moria is at least going to guarantee that we get board here. I will get that Hina down, and there goes that Houndblaze, and now a 6k into the Dofi blocker gets that off the board as well. We're starting to stabilize a little bit. I've got myself a board. It's going to be hard for him to remove everything. I'm just going to go 6 to life, though. He will counter out, and another 7 is going to get taken, and I'll just play Mancherry. Get that effect, picking up Rebecca. I don't know if I actually sent 2 cards to the trash off Mancherry. Might have been a mistake on my part, but yeah. Honestly, at this point, I feel pretty good just having 1 blocker up. I know that he can remove it and get me down to 0 life, but having him at 2 is, you know, a pretty susceptible spot right here. And I know he's taking his time. He's thinking about it. He's got a couple of options. None of them seem great. Like, could swing 5 into the Mancherry, but I probably will just Rebecca that. And then he has the Red Rock as well as, I don't know what 4-cost that was, but there's a few options here. They don't feel great. I think that Kaido, maybe back when he was at 9 life and just leaving, or 9 life, 4 life and leaving my 9-cost Mihawk on the board might have been okay. But it does choose to get rid of Rebecca here and uses the leader effect to play the Gecko Moria. My Mancherry is gone, but picks up that 3-cost Doflamingo blocker and is just going to end up passing right there. 8k swing into my Mancherry. The disrespect. You know, leave my Mancherry alone. I think we're definitely taking Suru here. Putting the other 2 in trash. I don't mind just having Hina in trash. It's looking like that's going to be the play, but I might be considering taking Kuzan. But I do choose to get that Suru right now. So now we still have 8 Dawn to work with, but I know that priority, I have to get rid of this Gecko Moria just because it would be very easy for him to bottom deck my Sabo here. So as much as I would love to attack into his life this turn, I'm definitely going to have to get rid of the Gecko Moria. So 5k does get a 1k counter out. I am actually just going to go ahead and swing 6 as well into it, forcing out a 2k counter with that Dracul Mihawk. And I believe that was the 4-cost card he had in hand. 8 Dawn. Oh, I think I'm just getting cards out of hand and I have 7-cost Porcelino here. But a 6k swing is going to get that Kaya as well. And with 7 Dawn, oh no, I'm gonna take back and play Rebecca using the Houndblaze and then attaching 1 and swinging 7 to life. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think I was just trying to get resources so that I could get him down low enough that next turn there's no way we lose. Yeah, that Kaido has been feeling like a brick in his hand for sure. But a 5k swing, I believe, into brand new here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I believe this is just into life. So I end up countering out of this. He is going to draw with the Kaido, but it looks as though he drew into very little counter power. Yeah. And now he's just going to pass it over. We should be able to just go for game pretty easy with how much we have on board. But I don't know. I would have loved to know how the match would have turned out had he played Kaido instead of removing the Mihawk so quickly. I don't know. I think it would have been interesting, at least. But a 5k swing is going to get countered out pretty quickly. Another 5 is just going to get countered out. No problem at all. And I think we just go 5 with Hina here, and then we can attach the rest to Sabo and Leader, and we should be looking pretty comfortable. So I'm going to go 6, actually, which ends up getting a 2k counter. And now I'll go 7, knowing that I probably was just going to play a blocker. Oh, actually, I choose to play the blocker just in case he was baiting me. I was playing super safe, just in case he did potentially have the counter. I was like, yeah, I could go for it here, but, you know, with how much he had in hand and previously playing Kaido, I was like, there's odds that he's got it here, but I definitely played a little scared. And now we'll see a 6k swing coming down. I'll give him a 2k counter, last card in hand. The Kaido swings, we could just block with Rebecca. And now, getting the good old-fashioned Red Rock there onto one of my Sabos and gets that Doflamingo down. I don't think it's relevant just because of how many cards he's got in hand, how many swings we have. We just got to get through one blocker, and we should be perfectly fine. So 7k swing does get out one of the zero-cost events. And now I can just go another 7, but actually I choose to go 6, which is a block, and now a 9. And he counters out with, I remember this, he counters out with Kaido and says, plus 10k. But super solid match all around. I actually would love to get another match in with Kyle in the near future, because I do wonder what would have happened had he played 10-cost Kaido earlier. Because I don't believe I had the removal for it. And I think it would have been a little bit trickier for me to get rid of. But I don't know, you know? Let me know what your thoughts are, guys. And other than that, I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right? Peace.